This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning, my country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. So let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped.
When the stakes are high, the debates get hotter. When the issues demand clarity, we bring the fire. Welcome to Crossfire. Crossfire, where politics meets perspective, where issues are dissected, and where no topic is off limits. From the corridors of power to the pulse of the streets, we break down the politics, the controversies, and the decisions that shape our nation. Join Dr. Tony Olisangbeki as he puts guests on the hot seat, drilling them with the tough questions, demanding the hard truths, and leaving no room for half measures. Get ready for fearless conversations and uncompromising analysis. Crossfire, exclusive on Udala 104.7 FM Onitsha, every Saturday from 9 a.m.
A very beautiful morning to you and welcome to Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM on Nature this very beautiful Saturday morning, the fourth day in the month of July in the year 2026. Wherever you are listening to us from and whatever you may be doing at this very point, it's always a pleasure to welcome you on this epochal edition of Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM. You don't need to go anywhere. This is where it happens. On this very platform, we speak the truth, we uphold the truth, we preserve the truth. We call a spade a spade. We can never call a spade by any other name. That's more reason we say, not this Sarah Veritas, and not this Sarah Ayudison Veritas, and not this Sarah Vikakabit Veritas, and not this Sarah Lingolum Lingolum, and not this Sarah Contra Lingolum Lingolum. You are welcome wherever you are listening to us from. It's about 5 minutes down the hour of 4 a.m. in New York, and also about 5 minutes down the hour of 9 a.m. in London, and also 6 minutes down the hour of 10 a.m. in Johannesburg, South Africa. It's also 6 minutes down the hour of 11 a.m. in Jerusalem, and also about 6 minutes down the hour of 1 midnight or 1 a.m. in San Francisco, California, United States of America. And the same also 6 minutes down the hour of 1 a.m. in Ontario, still the same place, and also 6 minutes down the hour of 4 a.m. in Ottawa, Canada, and also 6 minutes down the hour of 9 a.m. here in Nigeria. Wherever you are listening to us from, just like we said all the time, you have to go to our social media platform, log on to our Facebook, go to Twitter or X, Instagram, YouTube, search comprising the military, also the police, and at the same time the Agone Chamber. We would also want them to do this job professionally. We wouldn't want to hear any extortion, harassment, and people should be talked to in a polite manner. Do not harangue, do not hunt, do not in any way beat anybody. We will not take that, because I have said that many times, that anybody who does anything untoward, once the evidence is ripe, we are going to expose the person. We don't mind calling the person here once we have the verifiable evidence, and that is what we are going to do. So let's quickly let you know that we are going to serve you the political roundup stories. Once we are done with that, we're going to come back here, and some of our guests could not make it because of the lockdown. I think one of them was to come from Oka, the other was to come from Enugu, but because of the lockdown, they couldn't make it. So it's understandable. Let's quickly serve you the political roundup stories. Friday, 24th July 2026. National Commissioner and Chairman of the Information and Voter Education Committee at the Commission, Muhammad Kudu Haruna, disclosed this on Friday night in Abuja. President Bola Tinubu's special investigator on the Central Bank of Nigeria, Jim Obazi, on Friday told the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, that the late former president, Muhammadu Buhari, ought to have faced trial over the alleged $6.2 million fraud involving the Apex Bank. Obazi testified as a prosecution witness for the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in the ongoing trial of former CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele. Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke has declared that he does not condone criminality, saying security agencies should arrest anyone found culpable, including members of his family. Adeleke made remarks on Friday while responding to Inspector General of Police Olatunji Dusi during a courtesy visit to the government house in Osogbo, the state capital. President Bola Tinubu mourned the death of elder statesman and former Lagos politician Alhaji Ganiyu Kolapo Oseni, describing him as a trusted ally, brother, and a man who introduced him to politics. Tinubu, in a special tribute issued on Friday, said Oseni's inspiring leadership and industry distinguished him, adding that he remained steadfast during the struggle to restore democracy in Nigeria. And lastly, African nation Egypt defeated Australia 4-2 on penalties to advance to their first ever round of 16 appearance in World Cup history. Egypt went ahead in the 13th minute with a goal by Iman Ashwa. And those were your political roundup stories, and we move straight to the business of the day. fact, we know very well that the trending issue about frying frying corn and also frying or doing kuli. This has been a trending issue in Nigeria since the First Lady Oluremi Tinubu brought this into the limelight, and then the issue of changing the NYC uniform from the khaki we used to know it to Adire. Nigerians are talking, and then some people are saying that Adire, would they bring that? But the government is saying it's part of the reform, it's a part of broader reforms they are bringing to that very scheme, and we're gonna give you, your time to make your own point as far as some of these things are concerned. And yesterday, President Bola Tinubu playfully referred to his wife, First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu, as Iya Alakara. What that means is Mama Akara, or Mama Akara seller, or mother of the bean cake seller, during a public event. That's what the president called his wife, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, Iya Alakara. That means, it's a Yoruba word, but that means Mama Akara seller. And this happened, that was yesterday, at the inaugural presidential press corps dinner at the State House in Abuja. And while addressing guests, Tinubu said something like, "Good evening, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, my dear wife, the First Lady, Iya Alakara." And it drew laughter from the audience, including from the First Lady herself. And you remember, this was a light-hearted tease referencing recent comments by Oluremi Tinubu. Through her Renewed Hope initiative, she had encouraged young Nigerians to start small-scale businesses such as selling akara, that is fried bean cake, kuli, peanut snacks, and roasted corn, agbado, and similar low-capital ventures, suggesting they don't require much to begin. And her remarks sparked significant debate and backlash online, with many critics calling them out of touch amid Nigerians' inflation rate, including food inflation around 40%. Unemployment and economic hardship. Supporters viewed it as a practical entrepreneurial advice, while detractors turned it into a meme. Tinubu's nickname was widely seen as affectionate humor, joining in on the viral trend rather than defending or criticizing. And videos of the moment circulated widely on social media and news outlets. I don't know if you will be referred as Iya Alakara. That is Yoruba for the Akara-related title. And that's exactly what happened yesterday during the inauguration of the presidential press corps dinner. I think it was the inaugural presidential press corps dinner. We've not had such before in history. And it was an inaugural presidential press corps dinner at the State House in Abuja. And a lot of things we are saying. I'm going to look at some of those things Mr. President said during his speech. And that will be one of the things we are going to start with. And remember, the president did not join either in criticizing or defending the wife, just as the president referred to the wife as Iya Alakara. And if you look at some of the things Mr. President said during the inaugural presidential press corps dinner that was held yesterday at the State House, in fact, Mr. President talked about issue of press freedom and responsibility. He did so much in espousing the need for press freedom and also responsibility. In fact, he emphasized that democracy rests on the freedom of speech, press, and association. But these come with responsibilities, according to Mr. President. He urged journalists to think about Nigeria first, that they should avoid irresponsible reporting and not amplify terrorists or kidnappers. Mr. President said the media should not become megaphones for those harming the nation. And he stressed facts over falsehoods, substance over sensation, and professionalism amid misinformation and social media. These were part of the things President Tinubu said yesterday during the inaugural presidential press call dinner. Many Nigerians have been talking. Mr. President, you're talking about freedom of press, freedom of speech. But then many have also reminded him about Showore, who is facing trial as a result of his own statements in an attempt to exercise his freedom of speech. He got himself into trouble, but Mr. President said that these things come with responsibilities. That's what he said. And we must also look at it from that very angle. What does he mean when he say these things come with responsibilities? And also, Mr. President described the natural tension between government and press as healthy for democracy. Government acts, media watches, and questions. That's what Mr. President said. That the natural tension, definitely there is always tension between the press and also the government. And he went further to say that government acts, media watches, and questions. He joked about reading mixed headlines about his administration. He said that he will get praise one day. The next day, backlash, criticisms. That's what he said. He said, praise one day, criticism the next. In fact, he referenced specific columnists like Shegun and Denny and others. I don't know if Mr. President is so he takes time to read columns and also listen to news. That's what he was saying yesterday. That today he gets one praise. Next, backlash everywhere. Well, he highlighted positive developments. He said stabilizing the economy, stronger public revenues, and increased allocation to states, and improved foreign reserves. These are some of his achievements. That's what Mr. President said yesterday. That he has stabilized the economy, that there is stronger public revenue currently, that there is an increased allocation to states, and also an improved foreign reserve above $50 billion, a 17-year high that he inherited, paltry foreign reserve. And foreign reserve is what he used to stabilize the economy. It is something that acts as a shock absorber when there is tension right in the economy. Foreign reserve plays a role. When it comes to issue of foreign exchange, foreign reserve plays a role. You say that well, he didn't say that, but from what we have been told that the past administration toyed with it. At a point, it got to all-time low. But the president said that has been taken back to over $50 billion in a 70-year high record. Then Mr. President talked about security last night. Remember, all these statements were coming during the inaugural presidential press call dinner. Mr. President went further to talk about multi-dimensional approach with intensified military operations, that there is better intelligence and interagency cooperation. He went further to say that thousands of criminals, terrorists, they have been neutralized, hostages rescued, communities reclaimed. He went further to say that the focus is shifting from reaction to actively degrading threats. He went further to so far, he will get one praise today. The next day, criticisms. He said it here. But then people were already meaning into that engagement last night. And you can imagine, everybody was in attendance. The First Lady was there. The Vice President was there. Mr. President was there. The whole thing took place at the presidential, the State House, the banquet hall, at the presidential hall. And we, just like you said earlier on, we're going to look at some of the things. Mr. President said, and of course he said that his government is all out to ensure complete freedom of speech and press freedom. EX. That's what Mr. President said yesterday. And then quite a lot of things, but just like he began his statement by calling the wife Iya Alakara, as we have said earlier on. Let's quickly bring the issue of Prince Adeyemi, the Prince Adeyemi Matsu. Yesterday saying that he is trying to use Femi Gbajabiamila, Chief of Staff, to shoot himself. That's coming from Bayo Nanoga. And then pictures of him being at the National Assembly, also having engagement correspondences with the Senate and also the House of Representatives and even members of diplomatic corps. These pictures are flying yesterday. In fact, if they are still flying today, these pictures were flying yesterday and are still flying today on net, on social media. It's through the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Punch is saying that they cited every correspondence, every paper, every document. They cited those documents and they are in possession of those documents that are original, authenticated. Why would the government, why would the federal government say that the office never existed? And if the correspondence, one of them dated November 21, 2024, was signed by the Permanent Secretary, General Service Office, Nnamdi Maurice Mberi, on behalf of the ACF. Attached to it was Adeyemi's November 7, 2024 request for office accommodation for the Presidential Foreign Investment Promotion Council. And the also registry stamp showed the letter was received by the HGF's office on November 12 before it was forwarded to the Anti-Graft Agency 9 days later. And the forwarding letter titled Request for Office Accommodation informed the EFCC that 3 government institutions had applied for office accommodation from recovered federal government properties. The letter specifically identified one of the requests as ref number XHDG PFIPC RQ 107 dated November 7, 2024, submitted by the Director General of the Presidential Foreign Investment Council Promotion. And then it stated, I'm directed to forward the attached copies of letters requesting allocation of office accommodation from the recovered federal government landed properties for further necessary action. That's coming from the Office of the Secretary General of the Federation, writing to EFCC to make available one of the 3 recovered properties of the federal government to Prince Adeyemi's office. We are talking about his office. And then but the government is denying it never existed. Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council office. Punch is trying to let us know that it does exist. That everything Adeyemi is saying, apart from the issue of not making payments of 200 million to wrap up 400 million demanded by, allegedly anyway, by Femi Gbajabiamila, is correct. But they are not vouching for that. But they're saying when it comes to the very promotion council, the office space, correspondence, the budget entry, these things are real. That government should not in any way try to deceive Nigerians. They should honor. I was reading that very investigative report by Punch, and they were saying that this is real, that they can be sued by anybody. And just like I said yesterday or on Thursday when we were making analysis, that nothing will come out of this. And this man is confident. Last night he was on national television. He was confident. He was confident, saying that he has every evidence. Every evidence. That's what he said. That he's not even afraid. And as we speak, he's not even in custody. Nobody has arrested him. The only thing is that the matter has been lodged before a court, and he was making his comments. This to tell you the kind of country we are. All right, let's quickly get involved because we have these major 2 issues. What Mr. President said yesterday, all through during the inaugural presidential press corps dinner, and also this matter, Prince Adeniyi. In fact, he has been described as a con artist by Bayo Ononoga and so many things he said against this man. This man said it's about the request 48 point something percent takeoff grant of that very agency, according to him, that it was one of the agreements reached with Femi Gbajabiamila, and also that he paid 400 million already as part payment of the larger amount of 600 million to get the appointment. The question is, are we selling appointments in Nigeria? Is this thing obtainable in different tiers of government? Because there are those who are telling me that for government officials to perform their work, they demand a lot of money. Those who are appointed in commissioners' role, DGs of agencies, that once you approach them for the constitutionally or any service or tax enabled by law, they will make demands. They will call prices. What do we call this? Well, let's quickly get a take on some of these developments. All right, you have 0803-221-6973 or 0803-827-6694. These are the two lines you can call to make your submission, to make your own remark on these issues that we have brought out this very morning. And we are looking at the statement credited to Mr. President, statements he made yesterday during that very dinner, and also this issue of this man that has been described as a con artist by the presidency. Hello, good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Wonderful, busy morning to you. Honorable Dike, ringing from Onitsha.
You're welcome, Honorable Dike.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Going straight to the headlines you read out to us this morning, most especially that of Adeyemi Prince. Just like you rightly say, nothing will happen to the prince. And from the report from the Punch, shows that everything about that deal is correct. But Gbajabiamila can never deny that. And you ask the question, this is why I don't like, civil service jobs. Because it's not by competence. Most of these jobs, that is why when the Southeast youth was rejecting the military, going into the military, they were citing, why don't you give us an appointment in NNPC? Why don't you give us an appointment in CBN? Even in the federal services. When last did an Igbo man head the services, the federal services, as they head? So most of these things will tell you that, the higher money you pay determines, or maybe the level, either your father is a senator, or your mother is or your father is a governor. Most of these things is being shared. There are ones that are being given by quota system. Okay, this quota, so monarch, take this quota, share among your people. It's not on merit. That is why the country Nigeria is difficult for countries of the world to trust, this particular administration. And let me advise Mr. President, let him begin to think of life after office. Because the way things is going, trying to tap the journalists or the media at the back so that they begin to sing your praises, having succeeded in gagging the National Assembly, having succeeded in gagging judiciary. They are now trying to gag the, the media, which cannot work out. They have tried it. They say that most of some of the journalists, or most of them, normally bully their guests. Who are they referring to? Most of these government officials that will come to the studio defending government, saying that things is okay, just like Daddy Adeboye went to Washington and begin to say that can the president wear khaki and begin to fight that he has to give an order. He is the same man that wrote a petition against Jonathan. This is the same man that, with Tunde Bakare, they occupied Nigeria in 2012. And now you are singing a discordant tune. And what do you call this? How can the nations of the world take this administration very serious? Okay? Most of these things, we look at this as a religious bigotry. How can you stoop too low? So what we are looking at, people should, be given, appointment by competence. Not just that. That is why we are where we are today. Nigeria cannot produce anything. We are just a consuming nation. We just keep consuming without exporting anything out of this country. Okay, look at the level of road. What do you call this road? The coastal highway that he gave to his friend as a contract. Where are they going with this money? I think when he came on board, he was saying that the wife was saying that we are not after Nigerian money. You are not after Nigerian money. The office of the first lady is inconstitutional. Most of the money you disburse, where is that money coming from? This will tell you that, in fact, if I should say from my own assessment, I've never seen a president like this in the world, in the whole wide world. Because the way they are going about it, turning Nigeria into a one-party state.
But then, Honorable Dike, at a point during the time of Buhari, you were saying almost the same thing. You said you had never seen a president like Muhammadu Buhari. Now you are making the same statement on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Yes, true. I think even Muhammadu Buhari is better than this administration. To be frank with you, Mr. Speaker, because what we are seeing today, look at the level of insecurity. As we are speaking now, these children are still in captivity.
You didn't hear Mr. President last night where he said criminals are being neutralized, are being killed, that this approach is multi-dimensional approach that places forests and most of these places taken by the terrorists that are being reclaimed. He made some of these statements yesterday.
Did he visit Plateau State? Did he not end up at the airport fighting electricity?
And then no one asked Mr. President about the kidnapped or your school students or pupils last night when he was showering in commune on his government on some of the things he believes that the government has been able to achieve.
To be frank with you, I think in insecurity, I think you have to listen to Sultan of Sokoto, because the Sultan was saying Muslims are running out of patience. Not just the Muslims, even the Christians are running out of patience. The topmost priority of a government should be the protection of life and property, which he has failed to protect us. Now, traveling around, banditry has spread across board, than the southwest, than the southeast. This was something under Muhammadu Buhari. They were not down south, and southeast, and even the southwest. But under the watch of President Bad, this thing has spread like a wildfire. Everywhere, no place is safe. So all we are looking at, let him think of life after office, because we have seen his bed, and his bed is not even good enough. So let him begin to think of life outside the office.
All right.
How he will go, because from 2027, Nigerians, rise up, get your PVC.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You've spoken at length, and let's allow others to come in, please. You have to make judicious use of time so that we allow others to come in. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you.
My name is Comrade Owauchena. I'm calling you from Onitsha.
You're welcome, Comrade Owauchena. Please go on.
Please, before I go on, let me see some opportunity to commiserate with the members of the parliament, the Udala FM family, and the family of late Monday Johnson over the tragic loss of our member and their son. But I've been out of the town for past few days, so that's why I couldn't come up. I received the news with a great shock. Monday Johnson is now a victim of the same vices he was fighting against when he was alive. I know he's an advocate against the dumping refuse inside gutters. I know. I've met him, I've spoken with him. I know he stands on all these things, but unfortunately, the same system he is fighting against has now caused his death. It is quite unfortunate. May his soul rest in peace. Now, going to the jab, some people have decided that a jab, by the president to her wife, Mama Akarasela, all these things. It goes to point at one thing. Let me tell you, Mr. Speaker, these people are making mockery of the condition of Nigerians. They are making mockery of us. If you look at that whatever they organized yesterday, tomorrow they will disown. They will say that they didn't recognize because it has started now. I thank God for the pictures that are flying, the correspondence and the outcome of the investigation done by Attack Punch. So that let them not disown this one, not this media, pally, whatever they did. They select their cronies and they massage their egos. And you are asking, why wouldn't one journalist ask him about the whereabouts of little children, 2 years old children? Some of them asked him, and it presented a very good opportunity for the so-called press, the one they organized, the one they call the press. We don't know whether they are press or we don't know. None of them was able to ask him this critical question. None. But that is by the way. Now, to the job review at his wife, Mama Yalakara or whatever, and you see how they were laughing. See, these people are laughing at us. That's just the truth. They are laughing at us. There's nothing wrong in asking people to go into small-scale businesses. There's nothing wrong about it. But who is the person telling you to go into that business? What was her business? He keep on mentioning, I donated 2 billion, 10 billion, whatever billions. Madam, can you tell us the business you are doing? How did you come about all this money? And even your husband, can you tell us any industry or establishment owned by your husband before you join politics? Even the one that is manufacturing pure water. Just point one to us. You are telling us to go into Akara business and the kuli. When you are flying in your private jet, in your yacht, In fact, I support what DK said. I've never seen this kind of family. We call it family or whatever. Okay, these people are making mockery of us. Look at something in the midst of poverty, in the midst of Nigeria is ranked as number one, multi-dimensional poverty. This kind of nomenclature has not, in fact, it was even manufactured to describe the situation of Nigeria. And the president is making mockery of what is trending when people are venting their anger, making mockery of us. And they are laughing. You see them? Yes, they are laughing. As for President Yemi and what they call that, Bajabia Mila and all this, all these things are not new to us. Look at the person of the president from 14 of age. Nobody can say now this is how old our president is. Nobody can say which primary school, secondary school he attended. Nobody can say whether he is the Bola Tinubu that graduated from Chicago University or not. Nobody can point. Look at the person of Bajabia Mila. Person of the same feather. Bajabia Mila cannot go to US as we speak today. He cannot go back to US, to Atlanta, where he lived before, because of the corruption and all the should I call it atrocities, or before they come and arrest me. Although Joe repeated it yesterday. You see that Joe described them as crooks. That is what he said, not me. So we describe the Bush, the president, and the Bajabia Mila as birds of the same feather and the crooks. So it is left for them. They can go and arrest him, not me. So what I'm saying in essence is this: birds of the same feather works together. And if you are waiting for this mapper to be investigated, if you are waiting for heads to roll, no, it will not happen. It can only trend for 2 days, and we will go back to normal, to normalcy. And that is all. Good morning.
All right, thank you so much for your take. That's your opinion. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning, my speaker, Tony Beki.
You're welcome.
Basilugu, calling you from Onitsha.
You're welcome, Honorable Basilugu.
Thank you. Let me first speak about the Adenyemi and Femi Bajabiamila. This government is just taking Nigeria for granted. They have know that nobody in Nigeria can fight them. That is why they're doing all those things. It's like they're just walking freely, that nothing is happening, making laugh of everybody in Nigeria. That is why we see this kind of man existing, and federal government will come up and deny him. Someone that has CBN account, direct CBN account, someone that has about 300 stars, has an office in the secretariat. Don't know anything about this country. Is a joke. They are using everybody for a joke, as if nobody is existing in Nigeria, because they have the power, they have everything, and they think every other person that doesn't have power is no sense. And the president is telling us that the budget, he has a good budget for state governments. He has the economy is growing, and the foreign reserve. What are we doing with foreign reserve where Hungary is killing all of us here? What are we going to do with foreign reserve? You reserved money where we are dying for hunger? What type of government, insensitive government, can do that? I think the first reserve you have is when your people are okay, so that it can be able, people will be treating him with a globe hand until after election. Do whatever the media should do, whatever they want to do. Do a kind of supporting him after the election. He will tell them what he is. Because this man is not even interested in Nigeria. He's only interested in making too much money. I don't know what he's going to use this money for.
All right.
It's too much.
Okay.
It's too much. Thank you, my speaker.
All right. Thank you so much, Honorable Pasil Ogu, for your take. Let me quickly, let you know one or two things, and then before we go back to the phone lines, remember, just like we said earlier, today, Mr. President had the inaugural presidential press corps dinner. And when we talk about press corps, who are those people involved? Because there is what we call State House Press Corps, XHPC. Or if you don't call them State House Press Corps, you can also call them Presidential Press Corps. It's the group of accredited journalists permanently assigned to cover the Nigerian presidency at the Aso Rock Presidential Villa in Abuja. Journalists from different media houses who are accredited and assigned to cover the Nigerian presidency at the Aso Rock. They report daily on the president's activities, policies, statements, events. It is a specialized bit or corps within Nigerian journalism, similar to the White House Press Corps in the United States of America. In fact, the press corps has its own leadership, chairman, and organizes events like this inaugural annual dinner to foster engagement between journalists and the executive branch. So the dinner last night was a maiden edition, served as a platform for dialogue, awards, and relationship building, because the president was decorated last night as his grand patron. So if you're an accredited journalist posted to the Aso Rock to cover Mr. President's activities, of course, you're a member of the State House Press Corps or Presidential Press Corps. Let's now talk about Bajabiamila, because one of our callers made mention of he cannot go to the United States of America. Of course, during my analysis, that was on Tuesday. I did say something similar to that. But one would know that we must put these things under proper context, because if you look at the historical reason behind that, it was in 2007. The Georgia Supreme Court suspended Femi Bajabiamila from practicing law for 36 months. He admitted, according to the facts before us, Femi Bajabiamila admitted to withholding approximately $25,000 in settlement funds belonging to a client from a 2003 personal inquiry case. He deposited that $25,000 in his trust account, fell into dispose it promptly, using some for personal purposes, and then closing his practice and chamber in United States of America and left the country. And this led to disciplinary action by the State Bar of Georgia. His U.S. law license was later terminated and revoked due to this, and also failure to pay membership fees. In fact, he closed his shop in United States of America, left the country over the issue of, they call it dishonesty, $25,000 he withheld, according to him, belonging to a client. In fact, this issue has been raised multiple times in Nigerian politics. There was a time in 2019 it was raised, and there was an attempt to disqualify him from running for Federal House. But Benjamin Miller has previously refuted or contextualized the allegations. But, when such happens in the U.S., it becomes difficult. He has not gone to the U.S. since that very day. I think I have to put that in context so for you to understand why that happened. Yesterday, during the inaugural press dinner, Mr. Benjamin Miller was there. He was full of praises for Mr. President. Let me quote him. Quote him verbatim. He said, and I quote, "Mr. President, in 3 years, you have 10 reforms under your belt. Personally, I believe there is a lot more to come. We still talk about some in your office every day. Every day is one reform after another. Your capacity to work is something to be. The pace, the volume of your reforms, these things are unprecedented." He went further to describe Mr. President as a leader pursuing multiple reforms at a pace rarely seen in Nigeria. That the pace at which Mr. President is pursuing multiple reform is rarely seen in this country, noting that his exceptional work ethics and governance capacity that distinguish this administration. So that's Benjamin. He was praising Mr. President last time. Let's go back to the phone lines. I have to just let you know some of these things. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Yeah, good morning. Dr. Tony Sapeki.
You're welcome. It's good to have you.
This is Chidi Chukuma, reaching you from Bo.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you for all these information that you are giving to us. And I must say that this thing that is coming up, all these trivial issues, very, very inconsequential issues that is coming up, the aim is just a distraction. They are just trying to distract us from the major issues that we are facing. How can you be claiming all these things when little children, not even adults of this time, little, very, very little children are still in the bush for over 1 month now? And you have time for all those merriment because of that press briefing or whatever you call it or whatever they call it is just a jamboree. And when this thing is happening and you have the families who are in a very deep grief over their loved one, be in a very, very dangerous situation. Even as of now, we don't know whether those children are still alive or whether any of them is still alive. And we don't know what their condition now, together with the teachers in the bush. We that is in the house, we have everything. We close our doors and we also lighten our house and so on and so forth. We are in clothes. But to those people, that only that clothes that they put on before going to school, before they are kidnapping, that is the only clothes that they have. Whether they are being fed, we don't know, and they have time to be bringing up this whatever you call it job and so on and so forth. All this merrymaking. Nigeria, if we know the condition of this country, there is no time for merrymaking this time. It is time for serious job, serious business, how to fix this nation and how life in this country will be saved. Because Nigeria now is the most dangerous place to live. The most dangerous. You can't walk even up to one pool without watching your back. You can't travel from one community to the other without fear from whatever that will happen to you. And they have all this time to tell lies, even to bring it to this. Is it not a distraction? When you can't tell Nigeria the number of people that you employ, the appointment that you made, you come up to Nigeria to say whether this person is actually, when a whole lot of money is being
All right.
So many people have packed their car. They can't go on with the car anymore because only fuel alone they can fuel their car. Even not to talk of maintaining their cars this time. And they all have all this time to be telling lies to Nigeria. That is very, 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 very annoying. Let me stop here. Good morning.
All right, thank you so much. That's Chukuma. That's your take. Let's really take a moment and go for this commercial break. When we come back, we'll continue with our engagement. We'll be right back.
104.7 FM.
Caveat emptor. This notice is for all land buyers, developers, investors, financial institutions, and the general public. The Great Ubari Clan of Ifite Umweri Okuzu hereby announces that following a resolution reached at its general meeting on 20th June 2026, Chief Alexandra Uzuebunam has been removed as chairman of the clan and no longer has the authority to represent, act for, or conduct any transaction on behalf of the clan. The public is hereby warned that the above-mentioned person is not authorized to sell, allocate, transfer, lease, mortgage, or deal with any commercial lands, properties, or assets of the clan, including the Ozaro Buko Uberi land at Ifite Umweri village, Okuzu. Any transaction, agreement, receipt, or document issued by him concerning the clan's property after this revocation is at the individual's own risk and will not be recognized by the Great Uberi clan. For official inquiries, land verification, and legit dealings, please contact Chairman Chief Uchenna Ucheji, Secretary Chief Chukudinibo Christian Ikechukwu. Helplines are 081 634 29665 or 081 606 72694. Signed, the Executive Committee, the Great Ubari Clan.
You're welcome back. Let's quickly continue with our conversation here. Remember the lines to call 0803 221 6973 or 0803 827 6694. Remember, this is Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM, and I'm still here, Honorable Speaker Tony Olisanbeki. Let's quickly continue.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you. You're welcome.
I listened to the president's conference. They always say challenge, or I don't know what this man is taking us for. You understand? He's seeing us as people that are not meant for anything. You amount to anything. Look at the kind of praises Mr. Bajamelia given to him. You understand? A man that has a criminal case in the U.S. He closed his office in the U.S. and came back to Nigeria. Understand? I don't know what to do. Look at him calling the first lady in the year of Akara. You know, these people are just mocking up, making mockery of the situation going on in this continent. Ordinary food that's supposed to be the cheapest thing every nation will have is costly. Common security cannot be guaranteed. It's there.
Right, thank you so much. That's your own opinion. All right, remember there is freedom of speech, just as Mr. President said yesterday that he will not in any way hinder anybody from freedom he has to express himself. You know, but the most important thing is saying that some of these things come with responsibilities. Let's go back to the phone line. Good morning, you're welcome.
Good morning, my Honorable Speaker.
You're welcome. It's good to have you.
My name is Mario Kechuka from Onitsha.
You're welcome, Mario Kechuka. I don't know if you're out and if you have the silted your drainages. Because what is going on? There is lockdown in Anambra State and drainages are silted.
People are busy doing their sanitation.
Okay.
Everywhere is that. Even those people, they are arresting people everywhere.
Oh, they're arresting people who are flouting the directives.
People have been arrested.
Many people have been arrested for environmental offenses. Are these people not aware there is lockdown, that they cannot make
Some of them may not be aware.
or they are not aware. They don't listen to radio. Because we have been saying this on radio over
That
time.
is the thing. Not everybody are listening to radio.
You
So
must
maybe
make sure that people around you listen to radio. You have to do that.
Well, that is their own, because I will not come on my speed and maybe on my radio for everybody to listen.
Oh, you won't be on your radio. You won't, put on your radio for everybody to listen. You have to be magnanimous.
Yes.
You have to be magnanimous.
It may be a nuisance.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, to me, let me talk on the issue of what is that his name that connected to Femi. Well, to me, it's an embarrassment. My problem is that where is the DSS? Ordinarily, Mr. President is a criminal that wrote on his social media. They don't want to give him bail. The bail that they gave to him is about 200 million. Could you imagine? But criminals are sitting on the government. The criminals are our leader in this country, and you are telling me that we will fight Boko Haram and bandits. It's impossible. There is nothing. There is no how Nigerians can fight crime. Both bandits, both criminals, both Yahoo boys. It is impossible because he who goes to the deputy must go with a clean hand. You cannot be corrupt and you are fighting corruption. It's impossible. It is impossible. So Nigerians, if you are thinking that you will get the corruption down, know it now that it is impossible, because the people who are corrupt, corruption itself are your governors and your president and every minister, all of them. How can I be imagining this? A body is existing in our governance, and Mr. President say that he is not aware. And everybody in governance is not. That is why sometimes when this man is talking, that is always promoting the P2P, the additional. I see MT Concom talking. I'm telling you the truth, because I'm not getting any information from him. I'm not even getting anything enlightened from him. Everything he's talking is just making noise. How can you, honestly, somebody should come and explain to me that kind of a thing is happening in Nigerian government, not even in a state government, not even in our local government, in our federal government. It's an embarrassment, I'm telling you the truth, and everybody's keeping quiet. Nigerians, you are even keeping quiet. Honestly, we are part of the problem. We Nigerians, this is enough to bring this government down, how to exist again. I'm telling you the truth. This kind of a thing cannot happen in South Africa. It can happen in Kenya. It can't even happen in Angola. But it's happening in Nigeria. We are, the presidency are involved. Of our own money, our taxpaying money. And we are busy. Tomorrow we call on Udala FM and we discuss and we go to sleep. If we are not serious to fight corruption, we, the masses of Nigeria, we will not experience corruption, the stoppage of corruption in this country. So it is not for us now, because it is we that will fight this corruption.
All right,
if we don't come out to protest heavily for this,
must it be protestation? Must you protest? Why would you protest?
My sister, this is even beyond protest. More than protest.
Of course, there are things we do on our own in our places of work. We cut corners. There are things. Can we begin from that angle? Some standard products everywhere. You can go anywhere. You will see people selling things that are not. In fact, they know very well.
Our leaders are corrupt.
Can we begin by even in making ourselves to be what we want ourselves to be? He who goes to equity must go with clean hand.
My speaker, that is why I told you before that it is impossible for me to fight corruption in this country. Very, very impossible. Because there are police and our military men who are supposed to be on the field of fighting corruption are bigger corrupt people. They are more corrupt than the people that they are fighting for. So I don't know. It is. Honestly, I weep for this country.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Marie K. Chukadas. Take. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning, my honorable speaker to Mozambique.
You're welcome.
This is Anthony Mecheta. I'm reaching you this morning from Onitsha.
You're welcome, Anthony Mecheta. Please go on.
The Baja Gate is another interesting media fuse that typifies the situation of this country and this administration. I wonder when actually the issue of graft be handled, to be addressed in this nation. The executives are trying to extricate their name from this indictment. Everybody is trying to deny that there is no involvement for an agency that has been allocated budget for 2 years. An agency that has employed 200 workers, that has attracted foreign ambassadors here. So for me, it's another small screen on the condition, the graft condition of this nation, which is very, very endemic. And I have expected maybe I have secretariat. I don't know. For me, from the grapevine, we are getting that it is because of the sharing formula. It's an allegation. You will say it's an allegation. The sharing formula of the proceeds has been used. That is why the executive is coming out to deny the said agency. But the same man has said that he has paid 400 million, the remaining 200 million, and that the court will decide all these things. So we see serious indictment across the several strata of the executives. So, and what I'm expecting, because I know I'm in Nigeria, as far as the person involved is a strong individual. And when they say we should have a state electoral commission, and whenever one is trying to tell me about trying to bring social reform, since it doesn't work here.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Executive largesse and recklessness. I vote for this nation.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Honorable Anthony Mecheta. It was a lengthy one, and also remember, for those of you who are still at home, please, you have to go out and do your environmental sanitation, even as you're listening to radio. Please, I would want you to go all out. We must keep our environment clean. Our drainage systems must be desilted. The grasses we have in some places must be cut. We must cut off these grasses. Make sure that every place is neat. Neatness is next to godliness. Of course, we know that. We must make sure that we open up a lot of places, channels. And we know the season we are in, and also there are places that do smell. I think we must all go out and do the needful, even while we're listening or calling. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you. You're welcome.
Happy weekend to you, sir. Good morning to you, sir.
It's good this morning. You're welcome. Where are you calling from?
It's a bunch of calling from Fege.
You're calling from Fege. Hope you guys are doing your environmental sanitation over there.
This is a bunch of calling from Fege. Can you hear me?
Please go on. We can hear you.
Okay. Nigeria, now when it has they do amaze me. I see these are people as comedians. I'm telling you the truth. The pictures don't lie now. This one they are trying to deny now. The president is right to deny now. Some of his pictures, so first, he took some pictures with the deputy speaker, the deputy House of Reps. And I think you can stop yourself and a lot of our prominent leaders. There's something that has been in existence for 2 years now. And some location have entered into that agency. Even the last one is 1.3 billion. And somebody is coming out to deny it. Do they take us as a fool? By now, let's roll. Put through until we begin to hold some people accountable in this country. I don't think we are going to see any green light at the end of the tunnel. Our election is around the corner now. They are talking about election. Whereas there are a lot of insecurity here in Nigeria. Those people that have been convicted and the DSS have managed to arrest before the court of law and the judiciary have convicted. Some of these our governors have not summoned the same courage that they summoned to sign out money to perform our resources, to sign the death warrant of those criminal terrorists. And Ochokola was the last governor that summoned the courage and signed a death warrant for some criminals in Edo State. But since then till now, no governor has summoned the courage to sign a death warrant of a murderer and the terrorists. Well, we are talking about how the Nigeria will get better. It is a high time that we begin to help these people accountable. Those people that are responsible in that what they call it, whether they believe whether they know the man or they don't know. If any of them is found guilty, the person should go to jail. And I think the president has to write for his slumber. And we Nigerians also. So that is my own contribution this morning.
All right.
Thank you and God bless.
All right, thank you so much. Let's quickly take a moment and go for this break. When we come back, we will continue with our engagement. Please go to our social media handles. Go to Facebook, go to our YouTube channel, on Instagram or on X. Please drop a comment. We're going to take your comments on Facebook. Please go there and do the needful. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Udala Radio, 104.7 FM. When the stakes are high, the debates get hotter. When the issues demand clarity, we bring the fire. Welcome to Crossfire. Crossfire, where politics meets perspective, where issues are dissected, and where no topic is off limits. From the corridors of power to the pulse of the streets, we break down the politics, the controversies, and the decisions that shape our nation. Join Dr. Tony Olisangbeki as he puts guests on the hot seat, drilling them with the tough questions, demanding the hard truths, and leaving no room for half measures. Get ready for fearless conversations and uncompromising analysis. Crossfire, exclusive on Udala 104.7 FM Onitsha, every Saturday from 9 a.m.
Quality bread, Wendy's bread, for your family breakfast. Wendy's bread, Wendy's bread, Mama, Papa, they like Wendy's bread, Wendy's bread, even children, they like Wendy's bread, Wendy's bread, Wendy's bread, you get it better, tasty, we go sweet your belly. Wendy's bread, Wendy's your
Wendy's bread, tasty bread. You can contact us on our official address, Second Business Park, Enugu Road, GRA, beside Onitsha, Anambra State. We also have another branch at St. Michael Plaza, Atani Road. Also contact us on 070-1149-1571. Wendy's bread, your tasty bread.
Wendy's bread.
Udala Radio, 104.7 FM.
Your welcome back is still Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM. This very beautiful Saturday morning, the 4th day in the month of July in the year 2026. All right, let's quickly, take this very commercial. When we come back, we'll continue with the conversation. A quick one. It's not going to take time. Udala Radio, 104.7 FM.
Travel, my guy. Follow no road. If you feel like say you want travel this night, No worry. Travel smart, travel safe, travel in comfort and style with GUO night bus service from Onitsha and Asaba, going straight to Abuja. Whether you're heading to Maraba, Kubwa, Utako, or Abuja Central, GUO Transport gives you a smooth and comfortable journey all night. Experienced drivers D, modern luxury buses D, and a commitment to passenger safety. Departure time is 7:30 p.m. daily. Takeoff is at Onitsha and Asaba. So why spend the night worrying on the road when you can travel comfortably and arrive feeling fresh? Book your seat today. For reservations and inquiries, call 0906 639 8630 or 0700 012 1000 or 0903 336 7275. GUO Transport Company. Comfort, safety, and reliability.
When the stakes are high, the debates get hotter. When the issues demand clarity, we bring the fire. Welcome to Crossfire. Crossfire, where politics meets perspective, where issues are dissected, and where no topic is off limits. From the corridors of power to the pulse of the streets, we break down the politics, the controversies, and the decisions that shape our nation. Join Dr. Tony Olisangbeki as he puts guests on the hot seat, drilling them with the tough questions, demanding the hard truths, and leaving no room for half measures. Get ready for fearless conversations and uncompromising analysis. Crossfire, exclusive on Udala 104.7 FM Onitsha, every Saturday from 9 a.m.
Okay, we are back and let's quickly wrap up these conversations. Remember, this is Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM Onitsha. We are reaching you from the commercial city of Onitsha. Remember to go to our social media handles and do the needful. Let's quickly call out the phone lines again for you to call in and also have your own time to tell us what you think about some of the discussions we have been having. 0803-221-6973 or 0803-827-6694. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning, my chief speaker, Tony Olisambeki.
You're welcome.
The voice of Honorable Eden Zemet children. Yes, because those children that are there gives us so many concerns. They are children, in fact, they don't have to be, there has not to be any celebration in this country for now. What should be talking about is about the safety of the people of this country. But you can see them. It is only in this country, even the person that gave bribe for 400 million, where does he get that money? Where does he get that money? Then, that person that collected, what is he doing with that money? If such person should be given such position, what do we expect him to do when he got that? Then I want to ask the president, ask you, this means that the president of this country is not good, that we are suffering. Look at all these kidnappings will be going the way it is going, and nobody is talking about it. Nobody is doing something tangible about it. You have said about many things about state police, having state police, local government police. Now, they are trying to bring it, but it is not fast tracking. I know a law that was made a day, they brought up a day and signed it that day. What is withholding state police? So I want to tell us, to start telling ourselves, there's a guy that said something about street protestation. Tony, I want to tell you, the only thing the government of Nigeria listens to is protestation. That is the only thing. And when you come to the road, they will shoot you, even tear gas you. So this country has failed. It failed woefully. And I'm asking, what is Tinubu trying to come to do again in the government of Nigeria? Thank you and God bless you.
All right, that's your take. Remember, let's quickly address some of the concerns you raised. You asked why didn't the press call journalists or the journalists who are members of the Presidential Press Corps put up questions to Mr. President yesterday. But the point remains that yesterday's event, just as we said earlier on, was the inaugural event and it was dinner event. So there was no open questions and answers section during the inaugural Presidential Press Corps dinner held yesterday. It was mainly a dinner event focused on speeches, remarks, networking, awards, and relationship building between the presidency and the State House journalists. In fact, President Tinubu delivered the main address with additional remarks from Chief of Staff Femi Gbajabiamila, Secretary to the Government of the Federation George Akume, Information Minister Mohammed Idris, and also the Press Corps Chairman. In fact, Tinubu, just like we said when we started this very program, acknowledged media scrutiny and encouraged constructive engagement. But the evening emphasized partnership and praise for reforms and calls for responsible reporting rather than direct journalist questioning. And then the chairman of the press corps also made his own remark, and he would also want to know the
war. This thing escalated, and the price gone up, and they're giving us excuses that it was because of the war at Iran that caused the high price of this petrol. And now, if you go to market now, according to what we are hearing, that the price has gone down as it was before. Why is it that these marketers have not, come down to that price they are selling? This kind of thing. And that's why we are saying that the government has disappointed the masses. Because you have removed your hand from this crude. You should look those who are marketing this thing, because they will use this opportunity to rob people and your citizens when you are looking at them. That's why, I'm looking at this government, this administration, as if they don't care for the masses. They don't care for the masses. Because if they care and they know that these people you are ruling, they are suffering, you just come immediately and do something. You'll be thinking, about it again. This country is fantastically corrupt. Thank you, my speaker.
Well, that's their own opinion. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Thank you. Good morning.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my name is Jonathan.
Your name is John. John, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Onitsha.
You're welcome. Go on.
Thank you so much. I'm concerned for issue of Gbajabiamila. In fact, I think our leader, all this thing is their business. They are not interested for the masses. They are not going there for interest of the masses. They are going there for their own business. Even though the president, look at what happened last time. They have bought SCV this thing and shot it to the senators. But masses, you left the masses. So I think all this thing is their business. They are going there for the business. They didn't go there for the masses. You see, look at what Audio Total was saying today. That in terms of election, that nobody can challenge our president. Nobody cannot challenge it. Look at what our dear brother was saying. Let me tell Audio Total that let him majority.
Oh, so sorry. You're on that. Yeah, network cut you off. Okay. All right, let's take another one. Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, Chief Dr. Tony Elichanbek.
You're welcome.
Voice of Wisdom Star, can I read right now from the city of Asaba?
You're welcome. Wisdom Star calling from Asaba. Let's hear your wisdom.
Yeah. Tony, let me make a statement or comment about the statement of the president when he talked about that he has already improved the economy, and the praise is coming from Femi Gbajabiamila that he has already done very well in the economy. Last time I checked, Tinubu has been to different countries in the world. I can make mention of few such as the UK, France, the United Arab Emirates, Turkey, and many of them. I want to ask him and his cohorts this question. Tinubu, all of these countries that you've been to, have the citizens been screaming of hunger the way Nigerians have been screaming since you assumed into power? In this country, have there been having epileptic power supply just like Nigeria has been passing through? In this country, have there been experiencing whack medical care just like Nigeria have been experiencing? In this country, have there been passing through all sorts of terrorism, insecurity, just like Nigerians have been passing through. In this country, the level of out-of-school children are there as high as Nigeria is. In this country, the brain drain in different sectors, the Japa syndrome, is it as much as it is in Nigeria? You understand? Because last I checked, I think a leader should be able to do better than his or her predecessor. But unfortunately, Buhari and Tinubu has turned that table around. They have failed to do more than their predecessors. More than their predecessors have performed very much more than them. Because before now, in 2014, we used to buy a settle of water for at least 5 naira, 10 naira. Before now, we used to buy a liter of petrol for at least 60 naira, 65 naira. How much is it right now? It is so sickening and so sad to know that by now we are buying a liter of petrol for as high as 1,000 something naira. All under APC. So all of the protests that they were protesting in 2012, that was just to make us to buy a liter of petrol for 1,000 naira. All those protests, all those propaganda that have been there saying against Jonathan and PDP was just to bring us to the extent of, buying a bag of water for as high as 600 naira. Something that we used to buy back at the time as cheap as 150 or 120 or 100 naira. It's so sickening to know that we are passing through this kind of situation. And afterwards, they will come out to praise themselves. And last time I checked, a wise man doesn't praise himself. A wise person doesn't praise himself. They wait for other people to praise them after they have done well. So when you praise yourself, you know what you're doing. That means you're not performing well. And if you go to the Bible, the book of Proverbs, it told you that a wise person doesn't praise himself. They don't use their mouths to praise themselves, but instead they allow other people to praise them. To praise them. But right now, in APC, reverse is the case. Buhari will perform poorly. What's it called? Even Femi Bajabamila and Lai Mohammed and others will come out to defend him. The same thing is happening right now under the reign of Tinubu. They always come out to defend their government. They don't even allow the citizens to defend them. Are they not? Why can't they take, copy from the likes of, all these foreign leaders? Why can't they copy from Muammar Gaddafi? Because under the reign of Muammar Gaddafi, the Libyans nearly bought petrol or gas for nearly $0. They were making calls for free. They were having steady power supply. They were highly secure. Which is the most important part of it. The medical system was top-notch. They can't simulate from these people. But they always want to take us back to the time of Marcus Ngema, of Equatorial Guinea. They always want to take us back to the time of Mobutu, Sese Seko. They always want to take us back to the time of the former Malawian president that blocked the televisions for people not to watch televisions again. These are the times that they want to take us back to. But we are in 2026. You understand? I think since they have decided to, put us in this kind of harm, it is left for we citizens to look for ways to help ourselves and not just, looking for ways to, emulate, demonize the efforts of one another, trying to downplay the efforts of one another just for the our own selfish interest. We should try to look out for ourselves, because the people that are supposed to look out for us are no longer looking out for us. Tony, I don't know what else to say about Nigeria, because when I wake up in the morning and I see Nigeria, I just regret being a Nigerian. It's just like when you all your dreams at the age of 15 is being shattered. You have plans of getting married at the age of 25, but you end up getting married at the age of 35 or 40 because of your government. It is so sickening. I don't know what else to say about Nigeria. they are telling that they don't want Nigeria to divide, but they're the ones, planning and using their hands to divide Nigeria. Why would Nigeria divide? If Nigeria stays up to 2035,
all right. Thank you so much, Wisdom Shark, for your thoughts this morning. It was no long, but then let's see how we wrap it up. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you.
Yes. Good morning, Dr. Tony for this and
You're welcome. It's good to have you. You're welcome. You're welcome.
This is Honorable Henry from Onitsha GRA.
You're welcome. Henry from Onitsha GRA, please go on.
Yes. Please permit me to come from a different angle. And I still believe I'm articulate. Yes. I think it's high time we begin to suit ourselves. How do I mean suiting ourselves? We begin to, take to the fact that there is an oligarchy going on in Nigeria. Okay? Oligarchy, a handful of persons being in charge of our affairs. They tell you how you do live. They tell you how to operate. They determine every facet of your life. Yes. Dr. Tony Sambeki, I do not know if you read that book, Animal Farm, in those days. I read it by George Orwell, that's the author. It was a satirical, novel where animals were used to represent a human. Yes, they passed a message. I still remember, so many decades ago, I remember characters like Molière, Dr. Tony Sambeki, Molière, Boxer, Napoleon, Major. I remember that, about 4 of them. Okay? So when Karl Marx noticed oligarchy going on in France, at the initial stage, when you sense a thing and begin to make it public, initially, at the incipient stage, many people tend to, not to, reason with you. Okay? They become quite oblivious of the realities of life. So at the time, as God will have it, reality down on the table, and then the oligarchy was dismantled. Yes. So what am I saying here? There is oligarchy going on in Nigeria. Look at insecurity. Mr. President, tell us who and who that are sponsoring this people. Up till now, we have not had any name, not even a prosecution, and Nigerians are dying in large numbers up till now. Okay? Look at the level of corruption, embezzlement in various, offices. Look at the Minister of, what do you call that one? Humanitarian Affairs. Minister Zainab, tell us how, Farouk, tell us how much you spent on school children feeding. The response, I think it was a lot of money, or so much money, something like that. Better Edu, 30 billion allegation. How far? What's that name from a cookie? Yahya Bello, 80 billion. How far? Idris, how far? Ojerende, how far? Okay? So the moment we begin to see it in the same perspective as my very self, I think we would have done ourselves so much good, okay, in saving ourselves from that heartache, that indignance, that despondency.
All right, you have to wrap up because of time.
Yes. Finally, I advise us. I said I was coming from a different angle.
Yeah.
I have come with an advice. What of advice?
Yeah.
I'm telling us, please suit yourself. Forget about what they do or what they didn't, what they do not do. Even your PVC, you think that you will say right will go at the end of the day. You know that. So suit yourself. Let's stop, torturing our mind over the affairs of Nigeria. It's only God that will intervene. Thank you, Dr.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We want to see if we can really, take some messages. Take some messages. Oh, there's somebody there. Good morning. You're welcome. A quick one. You have 30 seconds because of time. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Go on. You have 30 seconds. I think you're not ready. Hello, good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Sunday, calling from New.
You're welcome, Sunday.
Can I go on?
Quickly, Sunday, you have 30 seconds.
The issue of meeting the president has with the media, I think is a welcome development. To educate so many media, because so many of them are content creators. They got their information through Facebook.
No, these are Sunday. These people are
not
hold on.
Investigative journalists.
I think you don't understand what that means. The press corps, they work with Mr. President. They cover his activities. I don't know if you understand what press corps, presidential press corps mean. Mr. President jokingly calling his wife Iya Alakara at the inaugural presidential press corps dinner is a pure deceit, hypocritical, and intended mockery to Nigerians. Mr. President preaching or supporting and advocating for freedom of speech has double meaning. Why now? And with that, I urgently urge all Nigerian journalists to be extremely careful this time around to avoid being used. You are commenting from FM Onitsha. You said you enjoyed today's program. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Dr. The Collins Uzoma Wakwe. Good morning, House. In Zekwe Celestine, he says, loyalist, but it does little to convince an already skeptical public. This is precisely why independent institutions exist. If the allegations are false, an impartial investigation will expose them. If they are true, those responsible should be held accountable, regardless of their positions. Either way, justice is better served when the process is transparent and independent. The Tinubu administration came into office promising renewed hope, good governance, and a firm commitment to fighting corruption. Those promises cannot be fulfilled through press statements or internal exoneration. They must be demonstrated through actions, and that will inspire public confidence. My brother, you wrote a piece to here, but this one is coming from Audio Augustine from Awada. He wrote a lengthy, epistle. I just took some. I cannot even take all of them. Water Prince. He says, Tony Olison Becky, I didn't see any truck anywhere to evacuate the dead. Oh, he's saying you do not see any truck. Please look for wheelbarrow. I said it the other time we're on this program that if you wait for a truck from the local government, if you do not see anyone coming, please get a wheelbarrow. There is no point in the CO thing, leaving it at the edge of the drainage. When it rains, it will just put it back. See, don't even try it. Please, whatever you have taken